this podcast replay, it's brought to you by Moodius Dental. Come and get a free consultation from the implant and Invisalign experts like I did and start the year right with a healthy smile. Call 305-821-0231 or visit moodiusdental.com.
We got, of course, a very special guest. I told you we'd start getting some folks to join us. And how about this? It's downhill after this, okay? Well, unless we get Michael, too. But Shaq Quarterman, of course, from the University of Miami, kind enough to join us now on the show. Talk a little bit with Shaq here. We'll adjust the camera so they can see it because we're live, Shaq, on YouTube.
Live.
Okay. We're live, all the way live. Don't even have to walk. Don't even have to talk. Just slide, slip at least. Okay, I'm done. That's old rap. You know any of that old rap? Do you follow old rap? Wait a minute. Hold on. His mic's not on. Wait a minute. Is it? Which one is it?
Testing.
Try to get. Okay.
Testing.
There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. Anyway, so you follow old rap?
Follow? No. I think I go back as far as Tupac, Biggie, Big
Okay.
L.
All right. Okay. All right. So what do you prepare for games? What do you use? What music gets you going?
Rap music. I gotta listen to Lil Boosie. Maybe some Gucci Mane, some Kevin Gates, Chief Keef, Kodak Black, those type of artists.
Okay, all right. So, first of all, first day, what's the toughest thing, Shaq, when you've never played with any of these cats? The only guy you know is Michael, and that's the only other guy you've played with, which helps a little bit, but talk a little bit about that adjustment that first day, having to get to know everybody and get in sync, because I've been doing this. This is my 21st year coming to these things.
Right.
And I don't really judge too heavily on the first day because I find it really difficult for all of you to kind of get in sync. Second and third days, you got to speed it up, baby. You got to get going.
Right. Well, exactly what you said. The beginning of the day was very tough, because you don't have the chemistry with a lot of guys. A lot of guys come from schools where, different things were accepted and this, that, and the third. But as the day went on, you see everybody become more comfortable with each other. And that was a good sight to see, especially for the first day. I feel as though we ended way better, across the board than we started.
What do you got to prove this week?
I have to prove I'm the best player here. It's that simple. Not just best defensive player. I want to be the number one rated player when I walk out of here.
And what specifically do you have to show folks that maybe they're questioning right now?
I have to show them that I could play all three downs, first, second, and third. That's what I came to prove.
Right, and because when I talk to guys, they want to see you in coverage.
Exactly.
That's what you hear, right? That's the same thing, right?
Exactly.
What have you been working on to help you get better in that area?
Well, really my coverage prowess, a lot of it's about knowledge, passing concepts, knowing in certain coverages where the quarterback wants to go with the ball, that's half of the battle. And then the second part of it is, the physical aspect, working on your breaks. As a middle linebacker, I can count a couple of times, in my career where we actually spent like a lot of time working on, getting in and out of breaks and things of that nature, playing through the hands, playing through the ball, things like that.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about this season, how tough it was for you guys to end the way it ended for you guys and some of those defeats.
Well, it was very tough, very, very tough because we have such high standards, year in and year out. So, falling short of where we wanted to go was very, disappointing. But, that's life, I don't think all was lost. I definitely think I took some lessons with me from this season that would make me a better player and a better man. So,
Shaq, can you explain how you guys did not look prepared after every bye week and even after the bowl game? Like, you guys came out flat for all those games, and it was the weirdest thing. And then you found yourselves behind the eight ball in all those games almost pretty much.
Well, actually, Coach Diaz brought it to our attention, too, because, like you said, it's shown up multiple times. I can't quite put a pinpoint why that is the way that it was, but maybe, usually – with a game off or a week off, you come back and, I don't know, maybe you're just not as attentive as you were before, Maybe you're a little bit too comfortable.
Everybody knows you. Like, everybody knows you're focused, man. You bring the lunch pail. You're a character guy. Did everybody follow your lead on that team? Because it almost feels like there wasn't that kind of Shaq Quarterman commitment from every guy in that. And I don't want to single you out alone, but I'm just saying I didn't see, or it didn't seem like that kind of dedication that you have.
I think a lot of the guys were dedicated. A lot of the guys. I think a lot of them respected me enough to know, whenever I would step to them or, to pick them up, encourage them. Or sometimes you have to get onto a teammate, because they're not holding themselves to the standard. So in that aspect, I never had any lashbacks or instances where somebody took, a great deal of offense to it, because I stand on the side of winning, and when you stand on the side of winning, it's hard for you to be in the wrong. Because it's nothing personal. If I mess up, Michael Pickney will grab me by my face mask and tell me. It's called accountability. So that's how I feel about it.
Do you think you had enough of those kind of guys on this team? Because that's maybe
I think so. I think the thing people don't understand is,
because it's frustrating for us to watch you lose the FIU, to watch you struggle with, what was it, Central Michigan, I think it was. You lose to Duke. You lose to La Tech. No, La Tech. At least Virginia Tech is, these other teams, you were better than them.
Right.
Like, you got better talent than those. Like, the four, you should have been a 10-win team. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Don't you think that that's what you guys should have been? You
That's
should have
definitely
been.
what we were. Yes, sir.
Right? Because if you guys have 10 wins, we're thinking, wow, you were 7 last year. You won those 4 games you were supposed to win, including the bowl game. We're feeling so good about Manny now.
But it was another year of losing those close games and struggling.
Yeah.
I understand, but I also want you to understand it's just as frustrating on the other side, being in those games. And I know the fans have been waiting patiently, and it grows tiring. But never forget that there's people out there, actually doing it and laying their bodies out there on the line. It's not a play thing, especially for me. It's not a play thing.
That's what we know that.
Not everybody knows that.
But we know that about you. You know what I mean? Like, nobody will question Shaq Quarterman at all. We could talk about, hey, he might struggle in pass coverage.
Right.
But we're never going to question your character, your dedication, your effort, your leadership, all of those kind of things. And so now the twisted part, Shaq, is what do you tell fans now that they're going into next year going, I don't know if Manny's the guy? What do you
After
tell?
year one, I would tell them they should probably slide then, to be honest. I know, and it's like, it's tough love, I don't have a answer to give the fans that would make them feel, at home and just, and forget about this season, because I can't forget about the season. But you have to understand that, we're going to keep moving. Do I think Miami will repeat and have another year, a 6-win? No, I do not. I do not think, the season will be like this next year. I don't.
Why? Tell me.
One,
because
they're
losing you, dude.
Right?
Who takes over for you? Who takes over for Michael Pickney? I'm not just talking about the next linebacker.
Right.
I'm talking about the next leader.
Right.
Who takes over for you?
Okay, well, I think that first the answer is that if you look on our roster, how many young guys, and people don't understand, coming in college and playing at certain positions, in certain positions, that's unheard of. You don't hear of a freshman tackle coming in and being thrown in the fire. And then people don't understand why he was thrown in that fire. But they expect him, like, the teams that we played didn't care if he was a freshman. He understood that. But then when you look at the grand scheme of things and people want to know, well, why isn't Miami, in the same conversation as, the Clemsons, the Alabamas, and or did you look at, what's been happening? My senior class is the smallest senior class we had in a while. For you to have a great team, I'm pretty sure every great team that made it to the playoffs this year had a senior class who were more than productive. Your seniors have to play great ball. We had 7 seniors, I believe, 8 seniors. That's tough. Half of my class didn't make it to my senior year. They didn't make it to my junior year. That's tough. So now you have to lean on guys who haven't been maybe groomed enough to understand the standard, to understand how we do things here. But you have to lean on them. So through, their temporary faults, I would call them, until they, have been vetted, what do you expect? They play hard, they fight,
right.
But they don't have the Shaq Quarterman, vet mentality yet, and you can't expect them to,
Right.
But Miami, honest, it's a winning coach. They don't care. They want to win no matter what. and they've been waiting patiently, and I know it because I've been waiting patiently too.
Oh yeah, no, we're all waiting patiently. I mean,
Right.
it's just one of those things, and then you're hoping for the program to take that next step, and we're not seeing it. We didn't see it under Randy. We didn't see it under Al Golden. We didn't see it. Mark Richter was that 1 year that looked like it was going to be that year that was going to start to catapult you, and then took the step back. And then Manny takes over, and we all thought Manny was. I thought Manny was the right guy.
Right.
And then this year is like, oh man, this is one of the more depressing years in a long, long time. Not because I expected big things from you guys, but because I expected you guys to take care of the business that you're supposed to take care of.
Right.
And
I can understand that.
You know what I mean?
I definitely understand that.
Yeah. When you hear that they could be talking to Alonzo Highsmith to come in to kind of look over the program, is that something that you think is needed?
Needed? I think he'd be a great asset. I love Alonzo. Even when I get to talk to him personally, it's fire and brimstone, but it's honesty, and you need people like that. There's not enough of people like that, in the world. So to have a guy like him who's done it, it's a different degree of respect when somebody's actually done it. He's been to the mountaintops, and if he tells me how to get there,
right?
See
Of
what I'm
course.
saying? But I think that would be a great move they could add him. I definitely think it would be it's going to be a difference already, but it would be, a quicker difference or a bigger difference. I do.
So Shaq, what's the next step for you after this? What do you do in order to get prepared for the draft?
For the draft, depending on how I do here, I hear that they're inviting people to the Reese's Bowl.
I'll be there next week.
Right. And then it's back to training. It's back to, doing what I need to do to show everybody that I'm fast, So that's the only question mark on me, I feel. Fast and pass coverage.
So prove and get a pass for the Reese's Senior Bowl next week. That's what you want to do
sir.
now, right?
I want to be with the best, and the best right here, right now. So I plan to be one of the best here, so I can go play with the rest of the high talent.
So what'd you think when you walked onto the field and you see all the NFL people looking at you? Like, you're used to thousands of people, but now these are the most critical eyes that are out there. It's not just a media guy or a fan or whatever. Right. That's no big deal. But when you see all the critical eyes, what goes through your mind? Do you think about any of that stuff?
At first, it's the first time going through it. Definitely it's a different experience, seeing all these guys who, every time you look to the left, you don't have to say a word. They write something on their notepad. That's different. But as it goes on, I'm here for a reason. That's what you have to understand. Well, that's what I have to tell, I'm here for a reason. If I didn't deserve to be here, I wouldn't be here. And, these people are here for a reason as well, so I must be doing something right. So I need to continue to do whatever got me here, Make it simplified. You can't be fooled by because that's the whole reason, they do it like this. They want to put you in a different environment. They want to, see how you react to things. And I'm too cool, calm, and collective to let it get me right now.
Well, hey, just get prepared, man, because in the combine, they'll say, hey, so Shaq, the last time you wore women's clothes, how did it go for you?
Right.
And then you're like, what? Hey, Shaq, the last time you did heroin, what happened to you?
Right. I hear all those type of crazy questions.
Yeah, because they want
part of the process.
Because they want to throw you off. They want to mess with you a little bit. They know you don't do heroin, but you want to see if you just go off on them or something like that. Right. So they've already warned you about that.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What's the craziest one they've warned you about?
Well, it's really just drugs and talking about, people's moms and mothers and fathers. I mean, I understand the process, but jeez.
Yeah, no, that one, I don't know if I want to go to that extreme. That's
they do. Yearly, so.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those. Shaq, man, I appreciate you joining us. I know you got to go to another interview now and talk to another team, and I appreciate you handling the tough questions because I know it wasn't an easy season for you. But I want you to know that, and I said it in the interview, people know who you are, man. And I think if the Canes had a locker room filled with guys like you, you'd be competing against the Alabamas and the Clemsons of the world. So keep carrying yourself the way you do because you're headed to big places.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is Shaq
Appreciate you having
Quarterman.
me.
Thank you.